of Proflan YouTube channel. In this particular video, we're going to have a discussion. How do you solve simultaneous equations which involves quadratic and a linear function? So we're going to have a step by step so that when you are going to do your Igcse exams, you know at least exactly what you are expected to do. So some question you'll be expected to work out the coordinate. For instance, here we have this question whereby you are told that the line with the equation x plus 2y equals to 5 intersect with the equation x squared plus 3y squared equals to 13 at the point A and B. Then we're supposed to find the coordinates of A and B, and we need to show all the steps that were followed in order to arrive to that point. So if you're new to Proflan YouTube channel, this is the time that you need to take the opportunity of subscribing and also liking this video so that anytime I'm going to upload further tutorials, you'll be notified. So one of the equation that we are given this point, one of the equation that we're given at this point is the equation x equals x plus 2y, x plus 2y is equals to 5. So this is, we're going to call it as equation number 1. The second equation that we're given is actually x squared plus 3y squared is equivalent to 13, and then we are supposed to find the coordinates of A and B. And in that way, what we're just doing here is to work out this, get the value of x and the corresponding value of y in that case. So this is our equation number 2. So what I'm going to do is actually to move this part away so that we can be able to start looking at this. So the strategy we're going to apply in order to work out this question, we are going to use substitution method, and we can say now from equation 1 we can say x is going to be equal to 5 minus 2y, because if we rearrange equation 1 we are going to get this particular equation. So meaning that this value that we have, or this expression that we have at this particular point, we are going to substitute it into this. So anywhere you have x, you are going to substitute 5 minus 2y. So which means that this is going to be 5 minus 2y squared plus 3y squared equals to 13. So which will mean that we need to expand this, and I believe you understand how to expand this particular question. And if you don't, just look at as if this look at these steps as if your life depends on it. So this is going to be 5 minus 2y times 5 minus 2y plus 3y squared equals to 13. So in order to expand this is what we are going to do. Of course, we are going to clearly this term multiply to this one multiply to this term. So if we do that, what are we getting? This is going to become 25, because 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times negative 2y is going to be negative 10y. Next, we're going to multiply this one and also this one. So this is going to be negative 10y. Negative 2y times negative 2y, that's giving us positive 4y squared plus 3y squared equals to 13. So once we have worked out this, we are going to put the like terms together, because this is going to translate to 25 minus 10. Okay, if you add negative 10y and negative 10y, is going to give us negative 20y plus 4y squared plus 3y squared equals to 13. In full, we are going to say this, and this is going to give us 7y squared minus 20y plus 25 minus 13 equals to 0. So what I've just done, I've actually added this and this, giving us 7, and then I've taken 25 and 13 on this side. So we end up having the equation 7y squared minus 20y, then plus, if we subtract this, we're going to get actually 12 equals to 0. So we end up having a quadratic equation. So once you have that quadratic equation, you have different options which you are going to use in order to solve this quadratic equation. You can use a quadratic formula. You can be able to use completing square method at this point. I know you are comfortable with completing square method. You can even use factorization. So let us use using a quadratic formula. So this is going to be y equals to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So in this case here, we need to identify which is our a. Our a is equivalent to 7. Then we have our b. Our b is equivalent to negative 20. And c, our c is equivalent to what? Let's check. Our c is equivalent to 12. C is equivalent to 12. So meaning y is going to be minus b. But already this b is actually negative 20. So it's going to be now positive 20. Then plus or minus square root of negative 20 squared minus 4 times a, which is 7, times c, which is actually 12, divided by 2 times a, which is 7, and this is going to translate to 20 plus or minus square root of. I want to put everything in the calculator here so that we can be able to work out. This is actually negative 20 squared, that is 400, and then minus 4ac, that is now minus 4, that is 4 times a, which is 7, times c, which is 12. So if we work it out, we get 64. So if you work out that, you are going to get 64 that we are having there. So meaning that inside here, we are having 64 divided by 14. So meaning this is 20 plus or minus 8, because square root of 64 is 8. So the value of y, if you can properly here, y is going to be 20 plus 8 is going to give us 28. And then 28 divided by 14 is going to be 2. And the other option is 20 minus 8 is going to give us 12. And 12 over 14, we are going to get what? 12 over 14. That's going to be actually 6 over 7. Yeah, so this is going to be y equals to 6 over 7. So these are the two options that we have for the value of y. So next thing that we need to do in order to finish up this question is to substitute these values of y into the values of x. Remember, we had said that x is equals to 5y minus 2, 5 minus 2y. So meaning that we can be able to find the value of x for the corresponding value of y. So when y is 2, we can say when y equals to 2, x is going to be equal to what? X is going to be equal to 5 minus 2y, but y is 2. So this is going to be 5 minus 4. So in that case, we're going to say x is 1. So the coordinate in that point is going to be 1, comma, 2. So we can maybe say this is our a. And our, when y is equals to 6 over 7, we are going to say therefore x is going to be equal to 5 minus 2 into 6 over 7. And that is going to be 5 minus, this is 12 over 7. Which means that if we put this information in the calculator, we are just having this number here. This number here, and this number is 5 minus 12 over 7 minus 12 over 7, which translates to 23 over 7. 23 over 7 at that point. So you can say this is 23 over 7. So all right. So which means that once you have this, we are going to say maybe the coordinate of B, the second coordinate of B. Let me just try to check whether the point I'm writing you are able to see. The coordinate of B is going to be what? Already we have the value of X, that will be 23 over 7, comma, comma, 12, rather, comma, 6 over 7. Now, these are the two coordinates of this particular question that we were asked here. Find the coordinates of A. So meaning that such kind of questions, you are expected to solve the value of X and Y, and then you are able to find the coordinates. Okay. Let's move to this next question that we are given at this point. You are given a triangle, an equilateral triangle of sides 10 centimeters. And then you're supposed to work out the area of the shaded part, because inside the triangle we have a circle. Of radius we don't know. So meaning that we are going to apply the laws and the concept of trigonometry in order to work out this particular question. So meaning that once we have this triangle, a very almost better. Yeah. Mm, yeah. This is well drawn, a very nice diagram, right? So does this look like the one that is there? Yes, so that is that. Okay, thank you for saying that. So this is 10 centimeters, and this is actually 10 centimeters also. So we're going to look at it in the perspective that each angle of this triangle is actually 60 degrees, because it's an equilateral triangle. It means this side is 10, this side is 10. So meaning that each of the angles is actually 60 degrees. So we are going to uh, look at it from this perspective. This is what we are going to do in this particular part. What we're going to do here, we're going to drop. The center is at that point. The center of this circle is at that point. So meaning that we're going to draw a line, a perpendicular line from there. Then it means if we draw a perpendicular line from the center of the circle, and then at this particular point, we are going to form a right angle triangle. So meaning that if this is 60 degrees, if each of the angle is 60, and this is 60, and this one is 60, but if we draw a line to the center, is going to bisect this angle such that it's 30. So which means that this is also 30 degrees. So by doing this, it means that we are going to work out and find the radius of this circle. Yeah, because if we say the radius of the circle is going actually to be this part, the radius is going to be this particular part here. So but we know from this end to this end is going to be 5 centimeters, because the entire length is going to be 10, so the half of 10 is actually going to be, so we can be able to use SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA in the sense that we can be able to check which one do we have. We have the angle, we need the opposite, and we have the adjacent. So which one is that? We are going to use tan. We are going to make use of tan at that particular point. And now we are going to say that tan 30 is equals to opposite over adjacent. And our opposite is this part, which is the radius. And our adjacent is this part, which is equivalent to 5. So we are going to, let me just remove the diagram that we are having at this particular point. My producer is not doing what was expected to do. She's asleep. Okay. Now, we are going to say, therefore, this is actually going to be tan 30 is equal to our opposite is r over adjacent, which is 5. So we can now therefore say our r is 5 tan 30. So if we can put this in our calculator so that we can be able to see what the radius is, let me just reset my calculator, and that is going to be 1 at this point. 1. So this is going to be 5, and my calculator is in radians. So confirm that your calculator is in degrees, so that you don't end up getting wrong answers. Always check your calculator in the degrees, whether it's in radians or in degrees. So in this case, I'm going to work with degrees. So I'm going to say 5 tan 30. If I work it out, I'm going to find my answer as 2.89 centimeters. So this is this answer here is actually equal to 2.89 centimeters. So I know the radius of this circle. Now, remember this question, we are supposed to find the area of the shaded part. So how will we get the area of the shaded part? First, we need to find the area of the triangle. And the area of a triangle in this case, we know that area of a triangle is a half AB sine theta, meaning that if you know two sides of a triangle and the included angle, we can be able to find the area of that. Now, in that case, we are going to say our area is going to be, this is 10 and this is 10. This is equals to 10 and this is equals to 10. So because this side is 10, this side is 10, and the angle formed is 60 degrees, then we're going to say this is going to be a half times 10 times 10, then sine 60. If we put that in the calculator and try to work out 0.5 times 10 times 10 times sine 60, if I work it out, I'm getting my answer as 43.30. 43, you can check that, see whether it's clear. 43.30 centimeter square. This is 43.30 centimeter square. Next, what we need to find is the area of the circle. Area of the circle, we can say area equals to pi r squared, and that is pi times radius. We got it 2.89 squared. If I work it out, what am I getting? times 2.89 squared, which is giving me what? Is giving me, just look at that, 26 point, correct to two decimal places, that is 26.24. 26.24. So this is 26.24 centimeters square. Therefore, shaded part is going to be area of the triangle minus the area of the circle. So this is going to be given by, let's write down here, 43.30 minus 26.24. Yeah. And if I work it out, I'm getting nothing other than, this is actually 43.30 minus 26.24. Working it out, giving 17.06. 17.06 as our final answer. 17.06 centimeter square. 17.06 centimeter square. So the most important thing, what you need to do always when you're doing this question, check the accuracy in which the questions are asked, so that you don't give the accuracy that is not expected.